Morning.
Hello, everybody. It's the Circle Life and Business Show. Here we are again today, and we feel like we missed you guys. Don't you guys feel like we missed everybody?
Yeah.
Feels like it's been a while.
Thanksgiving interrupted us.
Yes, I know. Well, I'm Lynn Pelzer, and I'm here with my co-host. We're missing one. We're missing Heather Meeks today, but I have Tracy Evans and I have Tammy Hudgen. And today we are talking about how to stop work without work stopping. So I think this is going to be a really great subject. We've got a few little tips and thoughts and ideas to swirl around. And you know what? It's really good timing to be talking about this.
Because holidays
are coming up.
Yeah, many of you might be seeing this later, but right now we're getting close to holiday time. It's almost November. So people want to take time off. People are thinking about plans for 2020. And all of this is going to be food for thought or actionable steps you can take right now.
we hope.
I hope, yeah.
Yes, we do. Hello, Kelly. Good morning. Yeah.
All right.
So what do you think?
So I was thinking about this. Hi, Dale. Good morning. On my way down today, I was thinking about this. And so I came up with a couple of different things. And first, obviously, we're going to talk about social media because hello. So one of the things that you really want to look at doing is if you want to take that time off, especially at Christmas, or you want to take a week's holidays, then I strongly encourage you to schedule your social media posts.
What a relief that is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not just talking like all platforms, right? So all platforms that you use, but when we're talking, for example, Facebook, we're also talking not just your business page, but any groups that you are running. Because you can schedule within the group, you can schedule your posts if you are the admin. Okay?
Yes.
Now, when we talk about scheduling, there are some third-party apps out there that you can use. Just be aware that Facebook and Twitter don't completely support the third-party platforms. So organically, when you use a third-party app to do your posting for you, or the algorithms are going to be not in your favor. Okay, Facebook's picking that up. Yeah, so your reach is not going to be where you want it to be. And I haven't checked lately, but I believe Twitter just completely got rid of the opportunity, like using Buffer, for example. From what I understood, they completely eliminated you being able to use it, but you'd have to double check that.
I know my CRM system has a social media platform. And
Right?
I go through that.
Yeah, so like through what do you use? Oh, I don't know that one.
It's a new market-based one. I've been with a couple.
Oh,
of
interesting.
Yeah, it's really
Wait, how do you spell it?
TIEIT. Tie.
So tie it.
Yeah.
Oh, never heard of that.
Tie.
Cool. One of the things, though,
Yeah.
to help you get around this whole third-party app thing, so we're talking like Buffer, Hootsuite, those kind of apps, is Facebook has its own platform now, and it's called Creator Studio. And you can just type that into Google, and it'll take you right to a new Facebook platform. And what's great about it is you can schedule your posts, but you can also schedule your posts for Instagram.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
So
right away with Instagram.
well, you schedule them.
It's good. No, but I mean,
Oh,
like,
sorry.
will it be released at that scheduled time?
Yeah,
I know
just like
that's-
it does on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, so
They don't
Facebook's
Buffer didn't do that
right.
before,
So right.
right?
So Facebook's has given us that option now that we can schedule both Facebook and Instagram.
That's great.
So I recommend, I'm using Creator Studio right now only because I've been having glitches with business pages and the scheduling, which if anyone's noticed, they have moved the scheduling feature again. It's on your publishing tools. However, while they were going through that transition, I wasn't able to schedule anything. So I started using Creator Studio, and it's pretty user-friendly.
How do you get into it?
You literally just go to Google and type Creator Studio, and the first one that pops up, and it will be an actual Facebook platform.
Okay.
So you'll know, and you have to be logged into your Facebook at the time you go into the Creator Studio so that it picks you up, and make sure your Instagram is logged in as well.
Cool. That is fabulous. So that's fairly new. And I asked that where do you go into it, because I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, where is it on my Facebook?
Yeah.
I thought it would be a button or
No.
something or an option.
Yeah. So no, it's at least, you know what? I haven't found it on Facebook, interesting enough.
I haven't seen it.
So what it was is I got a notice about it. So I thought, and then someone else mentioned it to me, and I thought, I got to check this out. And that's how I found out. And they just recently added the Instagram element into it. So that's really cool.
Incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any training on that or anything?
No,
No,
Oh.
not yet. Yeah, I guess I might have to do
Could
that.
you?
Okay, put a mental note there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and maybe we can drop something in here later in our group for
Yeah.
people to learn about
It is,
that.
I admit it is pretty user friendly.
Good.
I was surprised at how user friendly it is. So,
Mhm.
and you can see all your scheduled posts in there. You can see all your published posts as well, which already
Mhm.
gone out. And there's even features in there on working with you on trying to monetize your business page.
Oh,
So I have not done the investigation on that yet. So it'll be interesting. I think personally it's going to be generated through ads.
yeah.
So that's where I think they're leading us in that respect. So that's one way. The other thing I was thinking about is why not hire a virtual assistant for that time that you're going to be away, right? They're all available. I know a few of them. If you want to reach out to me, I can give you some names. But, you know, you can prepare your work ahead of time and then hire that virtual assistant to do that work while you're away. So at least work is still getting done and getting out there, whether it be your email distribution, whether it is scheduling your posts or actually doing the posting for you on your different social media platforms. Whatever it is, you can get a virtual assistant to do that. Could you add that to the comments, please? And I'm assuming, so is it Salima? Yeah, the Creator Studio. So I will make sure once I get back home, I will go through the comments and then I will paste a link to get to Creator Studio, and I'll give some instructions.
Thank you.
So a virtual assistant will work, but also even a social media person. You could hire a social media person for that week, and then they can do the work for you, and you don't have to get into the stress level of scheduling or figuring out your content, right?
That's a good point, because I think a lot of people think they have to hire someone full time, and it's super costly, which of course it can be a cost, but to have somebody that will do something on a part-time basis, if you're using them over and over, like a few times in a year or whatever, they'll get to know the rhythm of you and what you do, right? So some people will be able to do that.
I'm actually working
free
with
to ask
a
about it.
client this last week and this week. She's away on a trip, and she's got an event coming up. And so she messaged me and said, can I just hire you for the 2 weeks? Can you just get the posts done and get them shared into the different groups? Absolutely. So it's just a 2-week contract. So there are social media people out there that will offer that service to you. You don't have to make a long-term commitment at all. And then the other thing I was thinking about is, you know, adding in some online packages, which is something that you would be really great at talking about too. But think about what it is that you offer, whether you have product to sell or services, and figure out how you can turn that into a paid online package of some sort. So that what happens if you're doing your advertising on a regular basis, then hopefully you build it up so that there's a few people a month, let's say, or a week, if you can really build it, that are constantly purchasing. And that way you're making money while you're off doing holidays, right? And where that really works well, and it's not that it's free, it's not that it's online packages that they're downloading. If you're in network marketing and you happen to be with an industry that is a referral base, a residual base, you're already making money every month. So you really want to focus on any programs that company offers that will allow you to get that residual income always happening. So again, from a financial standpoint, right, you can take that week off and not feel the impact of losing any money. But it's a lot of work. Like, you have to build that. It's not just something you can go, oh, perfect, Tammy says I can do this, let me do it in a week and expect to make money off of it.
Can I talk about dealing with leads while you're gone?
Mm-hmm.
So a big thing for me when I would try to take time off is as soon as I sit down and get away from my computer, the phone rings and people want to book a course or book something. So for me, I can't lose those leads. It's really important that those people get addressed. One of the things that I've done, and if you're depending on the size of your business and what your investment can be, my Tie-It, at least as we talked about, has the opportunity to do automated emails. So if somebody comes through my website and says, I'd like more information on team building or EAL certification, they get an automatic message that sends them the information they're looking for. And then there's a follow-up email about a week later saying, hey, just want to make sure you got the information. So all my leads get handled with me being hands-off. And then hopefully I'll have a real conversation with them when they're ready to book. But I also recommend, if you have an e-commerce platform, make sure that has anything that they can purchase on there, because that stuff can still happen You don't have to do anything about it. People can go on my website and book a date night, and I can be in Bahamas.
Yes.
So having those automated systems is really helpful, and you don't have to invest a ton in those. There are some smaller companies that are offering that type of automation. At a bare minimum, make sure that your email has a out of office, so that you can then say, hey, I'm not here. You may even want to put information, if you only sell one product or service, you can put a link to all the information that they could get to and let them know when you get back to them, just so that they're not left hanging in your inbox, because that's how leads die. So you want to make sure they get a touch point and they get some sort of information from you while you're not available. And then you know things are being handled and people aren't just out in space calling your competitors because they didn't hear back from you.
Yes,
exactly.
You're still, there's a touch there. And this all gets me thinking about planning. So some people are watching and they don't have any of these things set up. Some people, they're probably thinking, oh, I can't, I'm hands-on. For everything I do, my hands up to do the work. We were talking about this earlier, like a photographer. So you think, photographer, I have to meet people, I have to discuss what package I have to go take the pictures, I have to edit them, I have to deliver them. But are there other options you haven't thought of? So I think there's some brainstorming that can happen, especially, great timing coming into 2020. Maybe you can have this as a plan, 2020. So that's a friend of mine who's a photographer. She has stock photo that she's not going to sell another way. And she has loaded it onto this platform called 2020. So plug for 2020. And it's spelled 20, the word, and then the number 20. So she is selling stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It's funny how sometimes it's the same one over and over and over because people use them for blogs, whatever.
Yeah.
It's stuff she's not going to sell other ways.
Yeah.
She's enjoyed taking those photos. Are great. So she's making this, maybe smaller amount, but always there's something else coming in.
Right.
And
So
then
you
she's
found a
getting
platform
creative.
that will for her without having to do her own e-commerce, which is great.
Right, like Shutterstock is another one,
Yes,
right?
they take like Shutterstock.
Yeah.
So they take a little percentage.
Yeah.
They give you whatever, and you're still making some money. So it's thinking about what else could I do, and maybe you don't have something on the business you do now, but diversifying is the other thing. As we get older, we start thinking we want to. As we get older,
tell me about it. I'm gonna be 52 very soon.
Yeah, it's work smarter, not harder, right? So we don't want to be out there grinding it out, doing whatever with our hands and talking or doing whatever all the time. We want to have some more downtime. Start thinking about we need to diversify a little bit. So how can we bring in a bit of money doing something else? So
So it's interesting though that
investment things maybe, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, like the real estate market,
Mhm.
right? You can afford to invest in there, right?
Mhm.
One of the things I was thinking about, because I'm in the process of figuring out my new life
Yes.
and moving to BC, and because I'm semi-retiring, I really need to put some systems into place that will allow me to get the work I need to get done, but still then be able to take days off to go and explore BC, right, with my camera.
Mhm.
So that's, I was excited about Creator Studio because all of a sudden I went, oh my goodness, I can schedule Facebook and Instagram, maybe sitting in my office on a Monday for the day, a full day in the office, and just pump out what I need to for the week, get everything done so that the rest of the week I'm just doing small maintenance,
Right.
Mhm.
right? Because that's the difficult part, right? We wish we could say that we're going to take a week off and take a full week off. But as business owners, we're afraid that we might lose that lead that might come through social media.
Mhm.
So if we're not on top of it, or we don't have someone else managing it for us, we're potentially missing those leads.
Yeah.
So the reality is that most of us are still checking our social media
And
while we're
there
away.
are worse things in life than working in your passion in Bahamas. Like,
Yeah.
I
Right.
will take an email wherever I am. I don't.
Yeah, right.
It's not really work for me.
Yeah.
But you may also have a team. Like, so for me, I just was in Bahamas.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I had conversations with our team saying, I have prepared all of this ahead of time. Like, I'm ahead of the game for the
Yeah.
week because I really want to be with my family and be as
Not
hands-off
worry
as
about it.
possible. I probably spent 20 minutes in total while I was away checking on a couple
Yeah.
things I wanted to. And, can I delegate a little bit to you for this week?
Yeah.
So I've handled it ahead of time, but if this, or this comes in, can you be aware and handle it? Right? Like, just message me if it's an emergency kind of thing.
Exactly.
And so maybe I think people don't ask for help too. Well, we're back to that ask for help thing that we're
I
all
know,
not
right?
good at.
Yeah.
But you can ask for help sometimes.
Absolutely. There's how many of us in the same industry, right?
Mhm.
Or, might know someone else in the industry that can complement you or that you can get in touch with and say, is there a way that we can work together, right? Like a photographer is another example,
Mhm.
right? Is
Cover
where,
for me a little
yeah,
bit.
like there's no reason why you can't trade off on each other.
And that just brings out the importance of like really surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm in a rare situation where I own a farm. It's a 24/7 operation. My
Right.
horses are always doing dumb stuff, if you follow my feed, and need somebody. But I have amazing people who work for me who help run my barn, and I have family that will come in, and my husband and I can get away, and that's a rare thing for farm owners to be able to escape. Now, the more animals I get, the less inclined they are to come and help me. But but it's really important to surround yourself with those people that will support you through those times, because we all need a break. We all need to get away every now
And just reaching out. So you're talking about your system that you have.
and then.
And some people probably don't have any of that yet
No.
because it
Yeah.
intimidates the heck out of them
Yeah.
to think, how do I do that? Am I
Yeah.
running this all myself? I don't know how to use it. How much does it cost? But then if you don't ask somebody else, like there's tons of people in this group
Yeah.
that, or wherever else you are in your networking circles, and people that are using it, they're like, yeah, I'll have a coffee and kind of tell you how
Yeah.
I got started using that and just start, asking the questions and moving into the next step of, I could set up something like that. Oh my gosh, I don't
Exactly.
even have an automated email with information. I never thought about that.
And
Well, let
even
me see.
Gmail gives you that functionality, right?
Yes.
But I believe Gmail lets you schedule emails too. I have never.
Oh,
tried
I have
that.
never done that
And
with
it might
Gmail.
just be through my G Suite because I have the.
I have G Suite
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
Interesting.
But I'm sure I've seen that you can schedule emails too. So there's different ways you can do it within the platforms you already have. I mean, if you're anything like me, you're not getting nearly the value out of the stuff you're paying for. Like there's way more functionality than I'll ever figure out. But yeah, just digging a little bit deeper to see what do you have and what are its real capabilities
Well, and the reality is you can go to YouTube and you will find tutorials
on
for
everything.
absolutely everything.
yeah.
And there's some really good ones that will walk you through step by step. So even if it's foreign to you, YouTube is a great platform to get those tutorials and learn how to use those different platforms. I do it all the time, right? So it's taking the initiative and investing the time to learn it, figure out what works best for you, which platforms, and maybe it comes down to that you just are too overwhelmed by doing the work yourself, and then you look at hiring someone temporarily to fill in for you, right? Whatever it might be.
And if you make the decision to get away and have a break, whether it's an afternoon, a weekend, a day, or a week, or hey, a month, just don't feel guilty about it.
No.
And also, somebody posted something this morning. Tiziana Knox posted something, and I'm going to be paraphrasing for sure. But she said something about, she sees people always talking about taking time away and time for themselves. And she thought, hey, I don't do that enough. But I love doing what I'm doing. And I'm in building mode. And what I'm doing is important. So, there's this thought that it's like the FOMO thing again.
Yeah, right.
Oh, maybe I should be doing more me time. And maybe I should be doing. Sometimes you're not in that phase.
No,
and
I
that's
have 2
okay
years
too.
Before we went away anywhere after we got the farm.
And sometimes you just can't. And sometimes you can. And look forward to that. Some people don't want to.
Well, and your business really has to be at a certain level for you to be able to do that. If you're just starting out, let's be honest, right? You're in growth stage. So, right, and getting it out there to take that time off, it's crucial. So those are things you have to take into account as well when you're planning it. It's not just about, hey, I'm going to take next week off. No, how's it going to affect your business if you're fairly new in it, right? We've all been, doing our stuff for so many years that, yes, we can take that time and go, right? I take my weekends off for those that know me,
And I've done
right?
that a lot more this year too.
Right. It's too important to me now to have my weekends. So, and I'll admit, I do work when I have some downtime on the weekends. I'll be like, you know what, I'll get it done now. But most times it's me taking, and I do quickly check. But most of my clients know that I take weekends off. So when they send me emails to say, do not look at this till Monday. They've gotten used to my routine. So it's allowed me, by establishing that, it's allowed me to take the time off, but I'm not losing any money. Right?
Another topic we've talked about before is boundaries. So you've created some boundaries around that so that when you are taking some time away and you got everything else running in the background, people actually know
Yes.
that they're not, you know,
And
they're going to have to hold it until Monday.
And just as a side note, no matter what we try to do to cover ourselves while we might be away, there's chances you're going to run into issues. I've had many issues with internet problems being up in the mountains when I've been out to BC, or you know, when I was down in Washington State, the place we were staying at didn't have internet,
Right.
and so she had bought like this Wi-Fi thing. Well, I used it all for the month. So all of a sudden we had no more access to internet. And then I had to drive, got my car, and I had to drive until I could get internet again. So I could email all my clients and say, I'm truly sorry, like I'm in a situation now. So you need to make sure that at least your clients know that, hey, I'm going away. Let them know where you're going to be, because there are some chances that you might not be able to get back online.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's do a little recap before we finish up here. I'm not sure if we're getting any more messages here, but they're not loading. So
Yeah.
I apologize, guys. We'll come back and look at it, guys.
Girls, guys.
So as a recap,
Yep.
scheduling,
Yeah.
Creative Studio, have a look at that if you want to for Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Pre-planning things ahead before you're going to go, creating some boundaries around the going. Do you have something in place that can earn you money while you're not physically using your own hands or voice?
Hiring a VA temporary, hiring a
Hiring,
social media
yes.
person temporary, even a marketing person. It doesn't have to be a social media. Most marketing people know how to use social media, so odds are you could probably work out a package with them
Yep.
for that.
Creating an ad, perhaps, that's running while you're gone.
Yeah.
And then
your
making
system.
sure you have some automated emails that are going out, whether it's just an automatic out of office email so people know you're not there, or ideally something that can actually address their need while you're gone. Send the information they're looking for and do a follow-up when you get back.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It's
Right?
all about being there when you're not there.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the only way they're going to know is if you're posting on social media and
Exactly.
telling people you're away. Otherwise,
Yes.
they would never know,
Foot
right?
in the sand. Is
Yeah.
exactly
That's true. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Heather, we missed you today, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
See ya.